Amsterdam. Of all the places I've visited abroad, I've spent the most time here. There's no city quite like it. Quaint architecture, beautiful canals, the friendly people, and bicycles. Lots and lots of bicycles. I first visited Amsterdam in 2008 when my friend George and his wife Maria invited me to stay with them for a week. Needless to say, it was a life-changing experience that led me to go back again in 2014, again in 2015, and twice in 2019. Now, there's no shortage of things to do as a tourist. Of course, there's great museums, there's great restaurants, a great nightlife, of course, the coffee shops, the red light district. All those things are great, but seen it, done it, bought the t-shirt. Instead, here are my top 5 things to do in Amsterdam. Museums. Amsterdam is home to some world-renowned museums. So many, in fact, that there's too many to go into right now. But if you do plan on visiting several museums while you're there, it might be worthwhile to pick up the iAmsterdam City Card, which gives you access to over 50 museums, as well as public transport, and many other things. I'll leave a link in the description below in case you're interested in looking into that. Now, as I said, Amsterdam has so many museums, more than I can possibly go into during this short video. So I'll give you just a few of my personal favorites, my top choices, if you will, that I often return to each time I'm there. First of all, the Film Museum. If you're at all interested in movies or the art of cinema, this is a wonderful museum that has rotating exhibitions throughout the year, as well as cinemas that show both art house and contemporary films. The Film Museum is located directly across the river from Amsterdam Central train station. So you can get there by taking one of the free ferries next to the train station. They run throughout the day, it's quick and easy and free. Another great museum to check out is, of course, the Rijksmuseum, which houses some of the great works by the Dutch masters, including Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Van Gogh. Notice I said Van Gogh and not Van Gogh. There's a lot to see here, so you'll want to make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Some of the exhibitions may require timed tickets, so you might want to look ahead and purchase tickets if there's an exhibit you definitely want to see. Another great place is the Oude Kerk, which literally translates to Old Church. Not only is it an old church, but it happens to be the oldest building in Amsterdam, dating back to 1306. It now houses contemporary art exhibitions. I've seen 2 different exhibitions there and both were excellent. Just being in this expansive old church with these modern works of digital art is a really cool experience. I would also recommend checking out the Royal Palace if you have time. This is one of the 3 palaces still used by the royal family. The building itself is a work of art and an absolutely beautiful place to walk through. Now, of course, there are countless other museums that I didn't name. Of course, the Stedelijk Museum, the Van Gogh Museum, the Anne Frank House. There's so many, and all of them are worth a visit, but those are my top favorites. On to the next one. Number 2, the Canal Cruise. Now, this may seem a little touristy, but I mention this simply because it's a great way to see the city, learn about the architecture and the history. I would recommend taking the night cruise if possible, simply because it's really nice to see the city lit up at night. Or if you prefer, you can also rent a boat to ride through the canals with some friends. Now, if you're looking for something to give you more of a true local experience, these next 3 things should satisfy that. Number 3, biking along the Amstel River. Now, I should just say biking in general, because if you want to get the true Dutch experience, you need to ride a bicycle in Amsterdam. Being a bike-friendly city, there are bike lanes on most every street and so many places to ride. It really is a great way to get around. You'll find there are plenty of places you can rent a bike. One of the prettiest and most peaceful bike rides I went on was along the Amstel River with my friend Arjen. If you have the time, it's a nice ride outside of the city. Beautiful scenery, away from the masses, and there's even cafes along the way to stop in for a bite to eat. Again, it's a little bit of a trek, so you'll want to make sure you have enough time where you don't need to be somewhere else. Number 4, Vondelpark. Vondelpark is not only the largest park in Amsterdam, but also its most famous. It's a perfect place for a bike ride, a stroll, or to sit and hang out with friends. It's also a great place to sit and people watch if you're into that. Now, it's a big park, so there's lots of room to explore and spread out. It's really a place worth checking out to give you more of a local experience. Number 5, last but certainly not least, festivals. Now, Amsterdam has some great festivals throughout the year, but the most popular by far is King's Day, which is held every year on April 27th, unless, of course, April 27th is on a Sunday, in which case it's held on the 26th of April. Anyway, King's Day is the national holiday to honor the Dutch king. It's the nation's most popular holiday, and Amsterdam is the place to be. Everyone wears orange because the king is from the House of Orange. There's music everywhere. It's a huge celebration, and everyone's having a great time. People are dancing in the streets, they're packed into boats going through the canal. There's all kinds of activities and street food. It's an amazing time to be there. I'll tell you, I was amazed from a cultural experience just seeing how civilized people were, even though it was this big celebration and people were partying, but they weren't out of control. They weren't stumbling around drunk. They weren't getting into fist fights with each other. It was very relaxed and chill, but a really cool celebratory experience. Once you've taken in the celebration around the canals, you can head to Vondelpark, where you'll find residents selling items from their home, as well as food vendors and other fun activities. Another great festival that I was lucky enough to see my first time in Amsterdam is the Gay Pride Parade, which is held the first Saturday in August. It's another amazing celebration where everyone's out, everyone's participating and having fun. There's hundreds of floats going through the canals, people dancing, partying, having a great time. It's a huge celebration, and everyone is proud and happy and having so much fun. Even companies had boats in the parade. It was really a sight to see. It was kind of funny how it happened, actually. I didn't even plan on it. I just happened to be in Amsterdam the first weekend in August, and my host picked me up at the airport and told me the Gay Pride Parade is happening and, well, we should go. So after a 13-hour flight, I was thrown into the Gay Pride Parade, and it was a sight to behold, to say the least. It was a lot of fun, a great celebration, definitely something that is worth experiencing if you're in Amsterdam the first week in August. So that wraps up my top 5 must-experience things in Amsterdam. Please be sure to like and subscribe so you can keep up with the rest of my videos as they come out. Next time, I'll be back with my 5 favorite things to do outside of Amsterdam, and I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching.